I liked a lot of the services. I liked one where Pastor Brian, I think is his name, he was speaking. I don't remember who was speaking. I don't remember, I'm sorry. But whoever was speaking was talking about being like faith versus something. And that message really spoke to me. And that night, like at prayer, and I felt God moving in my life,
Sorry if I sound like a parrot, but my name's Rosie. I'm 15 years old. This is my third winter retreat, and well, I was there. I was like not expecting anything. I was just there like it's gonna be like a regular winter retreat. But Pastor Philip Cruz spoke the next day, and it was just like it was like revival. Like I felt a presence of God there. I was praying at the altar, and that was the only altar call that I was able to make. And I kept like trying to go, but I couldn't make it because the altar call was like so small. So I actually made the altar call, and I was just crying. I came back to my seat. And all the leaders that were praying for me, they knew exactly what I needed prayer for. And I just felt like a revival, like all the hurt and the pain in my heart was just all gone. And after that, we had sessions where the young adults would go, the high schoolers would go somewhere else. And in the high school service, I forgot his name, but he was speaking to us, and it was like crazy how his story was. And that I hear other people's stories, how my story is. And I thought I had like a hard story, like my life is gonna be done and stuff, but his story was hard, and he kept still going to church. Well, he was the only one going to church in his family, and I feel like if he could do it, I could still do it, and that's it.
Hi, my name is Iselina, aka Precious, if you guys didn't know me. So going on your retreat, I just thought it was like a regular retreat, I had to go, I have no choice. But when I went up, before I say anything, I just want to thank my pastors and my salvation and all the pastors that were up there preaching. So when we were going up there, like I said, I didn't really expect anything, but Pastor Philip Cruz, he said something about faith, and I've been losing my faith to God, and I just opened my heart to him, and I know I have fire now for God, and I'm not going to school the same no more, so yeah.
Thank God for my salvation. I want to thank Pastor Christian and Sister Irene, Pastor Vanny and Sister Evelyn. It was a very powerful moment and the whole trip over there. And I just want to encourage those that didn't go. The G.A.N.G, those retreats, winter retreat is not just for the youth. They have messages for all ages. So for those that didn't go, I just encourage you guys to go next year. But the message that spoke to me was with Pastor Israel. It was called The Loyal Road. It spoke about that when you're loyal to God, when you're loyal to our pastors, when you have loyalty in your heart, that loyalty that's inside is not going to let you quit. He started talking about being loyal. And then he started talking about the disloyal side, when people are disloyal. He said that disloyalty doesn't happen overnight. It happens little by little. Disloyal to what? When you're disloyal by not going to church, not praying, not fasting, not reading your word. And the enemy will sit back and he'll take notes on you when you're not praying and when you're not reading, when you're not going to church. He'll say, okay, all right, he didn't do this on this day, he didn't do this on this day, he's not going to the retreat. Okay. And then once he has all his notes on you, and then that's when he'll strike. When you don't have none of your weapons on you, when you're not equipped. So that's why he says being loyal to God, to your pastors, and to the vision of Victory Outreach, you have to be loyal. Amen. Amen.
Hi, my name is Taylor. first off, I just want to thank God for my salvation. I want to thank Pastor Benny and Sister Evelyn and my home director, Sister Raquel and Brother Benny, for giving me the privilege and the opportunity to be able to go up there. I'm in the women's home. This is my first winter retreat, and it was amazing. The presence of God up there was so thick. I've never felt anything like it before, and all the messages, especially Pastor Israel Tavor's message, really spoke to me. Having loyalty. If you have loyalty, you won't ever be able to give up. I caught vision while I was up there. And I'm just falling more in love with Jesus and falling more in love with His ministry. Thank you.
How y'all doing out there? Yeah, you guys know. My name is Andre. I'm 23 years old, and first and foremost, I want to thank God for my salvation. I want to thank Pastor Benny and Sister Evelyn and Pastor Christians and Sister Yvonne for what they're doing. Sister Arlene. I'm letting go again. Forgive me, Lord, forgive me, but this is my fourth retreat. And I'm so grateful to be able to go. And like what Pastor LaCruz Jr. said, like how people, we got the emojis on our phones, and you take pictures and you can just filter it, right? And it's not really you. And he used an illustration saying, he takes a picture and then he goes to church and you see the next day, he's like, is this you? You don't look nothing like what you look in your pictures. Is this really you? I rather think that person said, are you sure this is you? No, I don't want to be like that though. I want to be the real me. And I'm glad that the Lord blessed me with dancing. I was also able to dance in front of big audiences, in front of thousands of people. I never imagined seeing myself on a platform like that before. But when I was on the road, people said, you suck and everything, but Jesus used it and turned it around. But one more thing. I got this dance move called the yo-yo, but people don't know the real true meaning of what it means. To me, it's like me being knocked down and come back new and even stronger to fight off the enemy. So yeah, that's why you say it.
Well, hi everybody. My name is Anshanique and I'm 21 years old, and this is my millionth winter retreat. But hold on one second, please. Okay, so if you could open your Bibles, no, I'm just kidding. The message that spoke to me the most was Pastor Phil. He was speaking about what type of Christian we are. Are we a hype Christian, or it's hype versus heart? So are we a hype Christian that's just there for the hype, or are we just a fan of Jesus or a follower? And as he was speaking about being a faith Christian or a faith Christian and things like that. And I was thinking, and then at the end we had a prayer afterglow and things like that. And so when we had our prayer afterglow, God brought me back to when I was 11 years old and I was in New Gen and I had my breakthrough. I was 11, 12 years old, and I was back in O.N.G, and he brought me back to a place where I need to get back to that. I need to get back to that brokenness where God was in my life in the UTC, and I needed to keep that fire. And it started to kind of I just felt like I was in one place. I went to the UTC, came back, I was cool for a minute, and then I'm just in a place where I'm just what now? What happens now? And when I was there and I was broken before the Lord, I thought about the O.N.Gs and all the winter retreats, the youth conventions, the G.A.N.G conventions, everything that we've been to, and how God spoke to my lives back then. And it was just it was like a flashback. In movies when they do a flashback on the screen or whatever, it was kind of like that. It was like a flashback, a glimpse of those times where I was broken and I was crying out to God and in my word and believing that He would be there through anything. And I just needed to come back to that place, and I can honestly say I didn't come back the same. The prayer afterglow was powerful. Yeah, it was fun out there being freezing cold and waking up at 5 in the morning, but it was even better. The presence of God was so heavy. It was different. It was really different. I didn't come back the same, and I'm looking forward to a million more.
Amen. God bless you guys. My name's Annalena. First of all, I want to thank God for my salvation and for our pastors. We have loyal pastors, amen. Pastors that have been here and have been committed, and you guys show your longevity, and I can't even begin to thank you guys enough for your heart and for how passionate you guys are about this ministry. And I just got a little bit of the first message, which was Pastor Iz's, and he was talking about loyalty. And I went up there, and this was completely different. This has been my millionth winter retreat, and just like on G.A.N.G, we've been to every retreat together, and it's so awesome because we get to grow up together and do ministry. And I love you on G.A.N.G, but I just got a little bit of the message, and then we went there. I went up there serving, amen. And there's nothing like serving and having fun and then having crazy youth. It was completely different this time. I went this time as a leader, and it's completely different. God began to remind me of how I was. I was like, Irene, I don't think I can do this. These girls are wild. Like, I was like, man, they're giving me a hard time. And she's like, you guys were the same way. And I was like, I don't remember being that bad. I was like, I was good. And she was like, you were worse. But it was such an awesome time just to be refreshed. And the message that I got that spoke to me was Brother Ryan. I believe that was his name. The last morning, he spoke about hungry lions, and he talked about completing a mission, and then there's this quote. He said, correction happens when we step up and do something. Rebuke happens when we don't do anything. And I began to think, like, man, if I don't do anything, Irene, rebuke me. Pastor, rebuke me, because I don't want to be that person. I want to be a gang girl that does stuff for Jesus. I want to be passionate about what I do. I don't take it lightly. And sometimes we can go into that phase, and we take things for granted, and we take our role for granted and what we do. But man, I love serving. I love ministry. I love what we do. It's I don't do it for man. I do it for God, and I know He's pleased, and I can't wait to do more. And it was such an awesome time to be with the gang girls and get to know them and have fun. I know we played soccer, and it brought back memories with even Taya, and she's pregnant, and we were just having fun, and we got to enjoy ourselves. Reggie couldn't hold her down, but we had so much fun. It was an amazing time, and Irene and Pastor, I thank you guys for your guys' hard work and for investing in my life. I'm truly so grateful. I don't ever think I can repay you guys for your constant investment in my life, and I love you guys.